Hi friends, welcome back to the channel Heal Lift Rise. My name is Carla. Thank you all so much for joining me here. Truly appreciate every single one of you, all of your love, support, and kindness to the channel. Of course, if you're new, I hope you'll join this wonderful tribe where we talk about all things healing, lifting our vibration, and rising to become the best version of ourselves. I am on this journey with you, friends. So excited and so very honored to be a part of your journey and you a part of mine. Today, I wanted to share a message that I hope will help someone out there. It was kind of inspired by somebody, and I felt like I really needed to highlight this topic. So I'm going to break it down for you. We have to not have expectations. We actually have to release expectations of how we want people to show up in our lives, because the more we have and create expectations from people, the more we are bound to set ourselves up for failure and for suffering, because it is essential to understand everybody leads their own life. Everybody has their own emotions and their own way of processing life and situations and what they experience. So we can't always assume and think that certain individuals in our life will actually show up in the way we want them to. Because it's just not real. It's just not how it will work. We can have agreements with certain individuals in our life, or maybe our close ones, family, relatives, maybe even some friends, but in no way can we have certain expectations of how we want them to be and show up in our life, because the chances are we will always be let down. And I had to learn this the hard way, because there were certain times in my life with certain friendships, I expected them to be a certain way. I expected them to show up a certain way. And every time they didn't, I was really let down. I was hurt. I was upset. I would end up distancing myself from them. I would end up, sometimes even removing myself from their life completely. But I realized over time, it's okay to voice your concerns and voice your opinion about things you don't like about how somebody is showing up or not showing up. It's okay to have those open conversations and tell somebody that, hey, I didn't like this, or hey, whatever the case may be, whatever it is. You can easily say those things, you could, share, you voice your concerns about in ways they may not be showing up that hurts you. For example, say a friend didn't say happy birthday to you on your birthday. Let's say this friend, was so close to you, you expected them to say happy birthday to you. You expected them to do something for you, whatever it is. Okay, and they don't do it, it's going to hurt. It's going to feel like a letdown. You can voice, because you have your voice, you can voice your concern and tell them that it hurt you, that to not hear from them, and, them not be a part of that, your day, in some way, whether it's a message, a letter, a card, whatever. But the truth is, everybody is so concerned and occupied with their own life and reality that 99% of the time people are not concerned and occupied with yours. And when you understand that, you learn to really let go of expectations that you have and hold over people. You start to realize people are very encompassed in their own reality, in their own world, trying to figure out their day-to-day, trying to process their emotions, that they're not concerned with how you're processing yours and how your reality is 99% of the time. But you can, like I said, voice your concerns and be very open to having those conversations that may be difficult to hear from both sides, but they're essential to have, because it sets the relationship up, whatever that relationship is, whether it's your parent, sibling, friend, whatever. It sets that relationship up for success when you can have open conversations of what you kind of, want, as far as, certain things or certain agreements. But you can never fully expect somebody to show up 100% in the way you want them to every single time. It's just not reality. That does not happen. I have been let down more times than I can count when I have been in that side of expecting certain people to show up in a certain way for me. I have been reminded that it is not a one-sided relationship. Every relationship is two sides, right? It's both. It takes effort on both of our parts. And I can't expect somebody to do things for me when they are also occupied with their life and, have their own things that they're working on. So I highly, highly, highly suggest that if there's anyone in your life that you may be feeling upset about because of certain expectations or because certain people aren't stepping up or doing certain things, have an open conversation about whatever is bothering you and just openly state what's bothering you and, work towards a solution and, how things could be better for you. If certain things do happen from this person or whatever, be open, be honest, because honesty is always the best. That's always the way. And you want to make sure there's a way forward, for both sides. And so also then you're not just suffering in silence, because that tends to happen to so many of us when we don't speak up and say what we want to say to people, and maybe even share how hurt we are because maybe somebody wasn't there for us when we went through a hard time or whatever the case is. We suffer in silence and we end up losing somebody from our life or not talking to them, distancing ourselves because we decided not to use our voice and be honest and share our feelings. So let go of expectations, but open the door to conversations with these people and, have agreements and have, understanding, because we can't always be everything for everyone. We can't always show up how everybody wants us to, and understand it also from your point of view. You can't show up how other people want you to. Can you imagine if people expected you to show up a certain way all the time for them? And it's just not realistic. You have your own life. You have your own, focuses, your own goals. It's not reality. It's not going to happen. So, always take the other approach, the other perspective of seeing that you yourself can't show up in the way that other people are going to want you to all of the time. It's just not reality. So I hope in some way this video gave you some, good introspection on expectations, made you realize that we really can't have expectations for others. And there's, of course, agreements, but expectations are a setup for failure and suffering for us, because people will not meet our expectations more times than they do. So once we have that understanding and we've accepted that, we can learn to just go with the flow and understand that everybody will show up as they do when they can. And that's so freeing to just give people that space and to, give them that grace. So I hope this helped you. And until next time, my friends, take very, very good care. I love you all. Bye.